Hello, and welcome to Paranormal World Investigators Research Division, shortened PWIRD. I'm a practicing white witch and shaman, and I have been investigating for over 20 years. This channel is made to talk about all things paranormal, supernatural, of the occult, demonic information, UFOs, and much more of the strange and the unknown. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and hit the bell to see more of this channel. And we will see you very soon. Thank you. Hello guys, and welcome to Paranormal World Research Division. So tonight we have got our Sunday educational show, and our topic tonight is talking about some demons. Now I've got the 4 that I'd put down. There was meant to be my sister joining me, Christine, but she's been busy with work, so I'm just going to do my 4 demons. I hope that you're all well. It's really lovely to see you all in the room. Hello MCAT, Michelle, thinking of others, Bold and Bonkers, hello. Reenie, Aroma Witch, hello sweetheart. Hello my sister Drew. Really good to see you all in here. So yeah, I'm going to be covering some demonic stuff with you today, giving you that educational topic and stuff like that, guys. So this is stuff that I've researched and looked in to do with them, and I'm going to share that information with you. Please like and share, guys. Let people know that I am on. That would be very much appreciated. I'm a bit bunged up today as well, guys. Right. So let's get on to the show. So I chose to choose 4 different demons to talk about and their association with hell and all of this sort of thing. So I think it's really important for people to understand the importance of what they are and what they stand for, because they're very much part of the paranormal community. Even though they're not less known, like they're less known, they are there. They do intend to sneak up on you at the most weirdest of times. So I thought that this topic would be good. I was meant to have done this the other week, but I've had a lot going on and I've been absolutely drained from doing everything else. So I decided to leave it till this one. So I'm going to go on to the demon that I'm going to be talking about, which is Beelzebub. And them that are with him shoot arrows. Beelzebub, a character in the mummying play St. George and the Dragon by St. Albans Members 2015. Beelzebub or Beelzebub is a name delivered from the Philistines' god, firmly worshipping the Ekron, and later adopting
by some Abrahamic religions as a major demon. The name Beelzebub is associated with the Canaanite god Baal. The physiology source, predominantly Christian, Beelzebub is another name for Satan. He is known in demonology as one of the seven princes of hell. The distant Infernal describes Beelzebub as the being capable of flying, known as the Lord of the Flies or the Lord of the Flies. Hebrew Bible. The source of the name Beelzebub is the books of Kings, the 2 Kings, the 1, 2, 3, 6, and 16, written Basil or Bazhub, referring to a deity worshipped by the Palestinians in the title Baal, meaning the Lord of Agratic, was used in conjunction with the despective name of Pacific gods. Opinions differ on what the names mean. In one understanding, Beelzebub is translated literally as Lord of the Flies. It was long ago suggested that there was a relationship between the Philistines' god and the cults of flies, referring to the view of them as pests festering on experiment appearing in the Hellenic world, such as Zeus, Apollonius, or Myogus. This is confirmed by the Agratic text with Deptic Baal explaining flies, which are the cause of a person's sickness. According to the Francesco Saraceno, 1982, the series of elements may be inconclusive as evidence, but the fact that the relationship to Beelzebub and the two consonant terms are here linked, joined by a function that is typically of the same divinities, assisted in the Mediterranean world in a strong argument in favour of the authenticity of the name of the god of Akron, and it is possibly therapeutic advertises which are impacted in the 2 Kings 1, 2, and 3. Alternatively, the deity actually named could be of Beelzebub, Lord of the Heavenly Dwelling, and Beelzebub could have been the directory pun used by the Israelites. The Septuagint renders the name of Beelzebub as a Basbil Mushin or Bell of Flies. However, Simchus may reflect a tradition in its offensive ancient name where he is regarded as Beelzebub. The Testament of Solomon. In the Testament of Solomon, Beelzebub, not Beelzebub, appears as a prince of the demons and says that he was firmly and leading heavenly angels to who was associated with the star Hesperus, which is the normal Greek name for the planet Venus. Aphrodite Apodon as evil star, seemingly Beelzebub here is spontaneously simultaneously with Lucifer. Beelzebub claims to cause destruction through tyrants, to cause demons to be worshipped among men. to excite priests, to lust, to cause jealousies in cities and murders, to bring on war. The Testament of Solomon is the Old Testament Pwird. I can't say that, but I am going to be posting this all up so you can read it, guys. Work permanently written by the King Solomon, in which the author mostly describes particular demons whom he enslaved to help build Solomon's temple, with the substantial Christian implications. The Christian Bible in Mark 3:22, the scribes accused Jesus of driving out demons by the power of Beelzebub, the prince of demons. The name also appears in the expanded version of Matthew 12:22 and 24 and 27, and Luke 11:15 and 18 and 19. The name also occurs in Matthew's 1:25. Jesus knew their thoughts and said to them, "Every kingdom divided against itself will be reunited, and every city or household divided against itself will not stand. If Satan drives out Satan, he is divided against himself. How then can his kingdom stand? And if I drive out demons by Beelzebub, by whom do your people drive them out? So then they will be your judges. But if I drive out demons by the Spirit of God, then the kingdom of God has come upon you." It is known whether the Semites or the Elabanites was correct in identifying these names, because we otherwise know nothing about either of them. Zebul might derive from a slurred pronunciation, or Zebub from Zebel, as a word used to mean dung in the Targums, or from Hebrew, found in 1 Kings 8:13 in the phrase Betzubal, lofty house. In any case, from the Benzubab was subsided from Bezriel in the Syriac translation and Latin Vulgate translation of the Gospels, and this substitution was repeated in the King James Version, the resulting from Beelzebul being mostly unknown to the Western European and descendant cultures until some more recent translations restored it. Beelzebub is also identified in the New Testament as the devil, the prince of demons. Biblically, Solia, Thomas Kelly Keene suggests that it might be a directory corruption of Beelzebub, Lord of the High Place, i.e. heaven, or High Lord. In Arabic translation, the name is regarded as Beelzebul. Gnostic tradition, texts of the Gospel of Nocturnums vary. Beelzebub and Beelzebub are used interchangeably. The name is used by Hades as the secondary name of the devil, but it may vary with each translation of text. Other versions separate Beelzebub from the devil. According to the teachings of the modern Gnostic movements of Samuel Yoon Weol, Beelzebub was the prince of demons who rebelled against the Black Lodge during World War II and was convicted by Anu Weir to the White Lodge. In Christian terms, Beelzebub is commonly described as a place high in hell's hereditary, according to the stories of the 16th century occultists John Warrior. Basil Bob led a successful, relevant revolt against the devil. In the chief lieutenant of Lucifer, the expiator of hell, and president over the Order of the Fly. Similarly, the 17th century exorcism Sebastian Michels is in his Abbeville History 1612 placed Basil Bob among the three most prominent fallen angels, the other two being Lucifer and Lavathine. John Milton, in his epic poem Paradise Lost, first published in 1967, identifying an unholy trinity, considering that Basil Bob, Lucifer, and Ashtaroth were Basil Bob as the secondary ranking of many fallen angels. Milton wrote of Basil Bob that whom Satan accepts non-hired sat. Basil Bob is also a character in John Bunyan's The Pilgrim's Progress, first published in 1678. Hang on a minute, guys. In modern cultures, animal species have been named after the figure. The prehistoric frog, Basil Bob Foe, and Basil Bob Tube Nose Bat. Basil Bob described as an extraterrestrial being in the Tilcher figure of the Mystems based Pwird philosophical book, Basil Bob's Tales of His Grandson by G.I. Gurdjieff. The name of the book, Lord of the Flies by William Golding, is derived from Basil Bob's title. The manga series Basil Bob is about a child interrogation of the demon being raised by a human teenager. The name Basil Bob has been used for demonic characters with little resemblance to its original context in a variety of other media, including the one-volume Mega Sandland and video games such as Castlevania, Sympathy of the Night, and Helltaker. In the Netflix series The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, Basil Bob is a character who takes part in Caliban challenges to the throne occupied by Sabrina, Morningstar, daughter of Lucifer Morningstar. Basil Bob is the deity of the Palestine pantheon and is reflected for the gods of Ragnarok in the mega series Record of the Ragnarok. Some demons try to tempt you towards infinity. Others want to drive you to drink. But there's one creature from hell who is apparently so evil that he's constantly confused with Satan himself. The demon Basil Bob, who is the horrific fallen angel with designs of wiping out the world and everything in it. Is he the devil or just one of his Bellegarde's minions? The difference between Satan and Basil Bob isn't as simple as you may think. While they are similar, they serve very different purposes in the Christian mythos. While Basil Bob only appears briefly in the Bible, he is found throughout Christian mythology, from the Testament of Solomon to the Salem witch trials. Written on Basil Bob's details how to summon him using a magic ring, as well as the various ways to engage him in devilish conversation. So who is Basilbob, the ancient demon with the checkered past and an infirmity for flies? He may have been powered by Jesus' miracles through the New Testament of Pharisees, a religious group that became the basis for Rabbinic Judaism. Questions Jesus' motivation and abilities in the attempt to undercut his saviour role. When Jesus picked grain on the Sabbath, the Pharisees questioned him, and when he drives demons out of person's soul, they claim he's using the power of Beelzebub to do so. The Pharisees claim that Mark 3:20, Jesus is possessed by Beelzebub, by the prince of demons. He is driving out the demon. Jesus responds that if there were so, Satan would be working against himself. The Bible fails to clarify whether the Pharisees and Jesus see Beelzebub as an analogue for Satan, or if the two are simply interceptible. He is referred to as the Lord of Flies. Beelzebub often uses the moniker Lord of Flies. The nickname stems from the translation of Beelzebub, literally meaning Lord of Fly, husband of the flies. Flies are representative of corruption and experiment, those increasing Beelzebub with demon filth. The representation of Beelzebub often depicts him as either a giant fly himself or a creature with bat wings and a lion's tail. In seasons 2 of the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, he is even featured as one of the 3 main demons of hell. He was blamed for the Salem witches' trials towards the end of the 17th century. Beelzebub was allegedly a major player in the Salem witch trials. He was blamed for most of the demonic occurrences in Salem, specifically those related to witchcraft. When the women of Salem confessed to witchcraft, they often claimed that Beelzebub tricked them. He was even said to have worked his way through Salem, corrupting those towns' inhabitants and turning them towards Satan. New England minister Cotton Mather brought about the influence of the Lord of Flies in the pamphlet Beelzebub and His Plot. He is the second ranking fallen angel in the Paradise Lost. In Milton Paradise Lost, the author lists Beelzebub as one of Satan's primary minions rather than his analogue. Milton writes that Satan consults Beelzebub on most of his plans, and the two even conspired against God before they were thrown out of heaven. Throughout Milton's book, Satan uses Beelzebub as the mouthpiece. He even sends his second in command to order a gathering of demons to move their fight with heaven to the earthly plane of all demons in hell. Beelzebub is the one whom Satan most trusts, although as soon as the king of the underworld arrives, Beelzebub essentially disappears from the story. He may be responsible for several demonic possessions. Causes of demonic possession have been tied to a number of demons, but Beelzebub seems to be the most adapted at overtaking the bodies of unsuspected humans. Perhaps the most prominent exorcism of Beelzebub are those of Annalise Michael and Nicola Aubrey. Michael's exorcism inspired the film of The Exorcism of Emily Rose. Recording of the event are both unsettling and tragic, and many believe Beelzebub was responsible for the possession. According to the father, Michael Muller, and Nicole Aubrey was a girl possessed by 30 spirits from 1565 to 1566, and the chief among them was allegedly the Lord of the Flies. Father Miller stated that Beelzebub was a caster of the Aubrey after hearing the Blessed Sacrament, and when he was expelled, the demon left his body in a cloud of black smoke. Father Louis Gurifady, a priest said to have been possessed by Beelzebub, was burned at the stake in 1611 as he passed a swarm of flies, allegedly flies that fled his body. He is associated with both pride and gluttony. According to the Bible legend, demons are not physical creatures. They do, however, represent humanity's worst features, because Beelzebub is both an ancient mythology figure and the hell's second in command. He has come to represent multiple signs throughout history. 16th century Francis Inquisitor and Sebastian Michaels believed that Beelzebub most closely represented the sin of pride, while German theologian Peter Bless felt that the demon was more closely related to gluttony. The later theory seems to tie into Beelzebub's infamous fly imagery. The Hebrew called him the Prince of Demons. In Luke 11:15, Beelzebub is referred to as the Prince of Demons by the group of Hebrew priests accusing Jesus of using power of hell to cast demons out of his followers. The name Beelzebub means Lord of the Mansions, and fitting title for the demonation and Prince of Hell. It was later established that in hell, Beelzebub sat one possession lower than Lucifer. The Seraphims, the Hebraical order, seemed to be determined by the order in which they fell from heaven. As such, hell's hierarchy consists of Lucifer, Beelzebub, and Asmodeus. Beelzebub is also mentioned as the Prince of Devils in the Acts of Pilate. He is granted a place in hell's hierarchy. Hell, like a kingdom, is a monarchy with the heredity of being who's assumed different roles within the underworld. While Satan sits on the throne, Beelzebub is his right-hand demon. In the 16th and the 17th century, demonologists needed a means to determine which demon was responsible for the giving of possessions. So that was my first one, guys. So that was Beelzebub, also known as several other names. Hello, everybody. I'm sorry I'm a little bit stuttering in that, guys. I'm a bit bunged up today. Next one. And then we'll have a break and then I'll be back again. Thank you, angels. You are so lovely and understanding. Erebus, Greek god of darkness. In Greek mythology, Erebus was the personification of darkness and shadow. He was a primordial god, identified as one of the first five in existence. Erebus never appeared in any myths of his own nor of others. Due to this, not much is known about him. However, he did father several other primordial deities who became famous in Greek mythology, traditions, and literature. Erebus' origins, according to Hesiod's theory, Erebus or Erebos was born of chaos, the first of the primordial gods preceding the universe. He had several siblings, including Gaia, the personification of the earth, Eros, the god of love, Tartarus, the god of underworld, and Nyx, the goddess of the night. Erebus married his sister Nyx, and the pair had a number of children who were all primordial deities with important roles in Greek mythology. They were Ithia, the god of light and the upper sky, Hemria, the goddess of daytime, Hypnos, the personification of sleep, the Moirai, the goddess of destiny. There were three Moirai: Lachis, Clothlo, and Oropos. Garrus, the god of old age, Hesperides, the nymphs of evening and the golden light of sunset. They were also known as the nymphs of the west and the daughter of the evening or the Aphrodite. Charon, the ferryman whose duty was to carry the souls of the deceased over to the rivers of Acheron and Zinth into the underworld. Tatanus, the god of death. Syrinx, the goddess of the river. Syrinx is the underworld nemesis, the goddess of revenge and divine retribution. Different sources state varying numbers of Iberus's children. That differs to the list mentioned above. Some sources state that Dolius, the demon of trickery, and Osiris, goddess of grief, Enrio, personification of dreams, Momius, personification of stare and mockery, Eris, goddess of sacrifice, and Pelotas, goddess of affection, were also his offspring. The name Erebus is believed to mean the place of darkness between the underworlds or of the realms of Hades and the earth, originating from the Proto-Indo-European language. It was often used to describe negativity, darkness, and mystery, and was also the name of the Greek region famously known as the underworld. Throughout history, Erebus has very rarely been mentioned in the classic works of the ancient Greeks writers, which is why he never became a famous deity. Deceptions and symbolism of Erebus. Erebus is something portrayed as a demonic entity with the darkness radiating from within himself and terrifying monstrous features. His main symbol is the crow, since the dark black colour of the bird represents the dark of the underworld, as well as the god's emotions and power. The role of Erebus is in Greek mythology as the god of darkness. Erebus has an ability to cover the entire world in shadow and complete darkness. Creator of the underworld, Erebus was also the ruler of the underworld until the Olympian god Hades took over. According to various sources, the other gods created Earth first, after which Erebus completed the creation of the underworld. He, with the help of his sister Nyx, filled out the empty places in the earth with the dark mists. The underworld was extremely important and an extremely important place to ancient Greeks, since it was where all of the souls of spirits of the dead stayed and were cared for. It was invisible to the living, and only heroes like Hercules could visit it, helping souls to travel to Hades. Many believe that he also solemnly responsible for helping human souls to travel over to the rivers to Hades, and that darkness was the very first thing they'd experience after death. When people died, they first passed through Erebus region of the underworld, which was completely dark. Ruler over all darkness of earth. Not only was Erebus the ruler of the underworld, but he also ruled the darkness and the crevice of caves on earth. He and his wife Nynx often worked together to bring the darkness of the night to the world every evening. However, every morning their third daughter Hemero pushed them aside, allowing her brother Ethium to cover the world with the daylight. In brief, ancient Greeks used the mythology as a way of explaining the environment in which they lived in, the passing of time through seasons, day and month, and the natural phenomena that they witnessed were all through to be the work of the gods. Therefore, whenever there were periods of darkness, they believed it was Erebus, the god of darkness and work. There we go. That is the second one. It is very interesting to read about these sort of things, because it does help you to understand a little bit more about them, because obviously we sit here every day and we talk about good spirits and what good spirits can do in different types. We never really speak about demonic spirits very much, and they are just as important to be known about than what good spirits are. You know, when you're an investigator and you're working this sort of work, you respect both. Yes, with demonic spirit and evil spirit, you do need to stand your ground and you do need to show that you're in control. But I do believe very deeply in respecting both sides, because you're not fully aware of what they're capable of. And I've experienced one of the most worstest ways with a negative energy, and that wasn't through anything I'd done wrong. So I know the capability and what they can do, and I would never want to cross that again. So I think it's really important to understand both sides, and both the good and the bad, because then you get a picture more of what this is about. And in fact, you know, both of them worlds is what represents us here now. You know, heaven and earth is both the represents of good and evil, just as in people are. Okay. And it's no different in the spirit world as well. And when we pass over, what we have chose to be here and what we have chose to do will give the accordance of where we're supposed to go. So, and even if you did end up in hell, it's a place to learn for your sins. It's a place to get your soul then saved by God and cleansed, for you to hopefully be able to take another life up and try again. But you do have to take the responsibilities for your actions up here in this world. Okay, whether that's with God or down below with Satan. Always remember that God is in charge of everything, including them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a break for 5 minutes, because I am really bunged up. Then we will come back and we will start part 2, guys, which is the other 2 that I got. So I hope you're enjoying it so far, and I love you all, angels, and thank you for being here. Very much appreciate it. Please go freshen yourself up, have a drink, and get that sorted, and I'll be back with you in 5 or 10 minutes. Love and light, guys, and bless me. Hello and welcome back to part 2 of our show. I hope that you're all okay, angels. So now we're going to get on to talking about the other two demons that I chose to speak about. I hope that you do enjoy, and I will just say to you that some of the words are really hard to say. So everything that I do get, I make sure that it's all put into files so that I can upload it onto my Facebook page so you guys can read over it. I do apologise about that, but I am dyslexic, so I do read the best that I can. And I've been doing okay so far. So going on to number 3. Our third demon. And our third demon is Agramon. Kind. Greater demon. Title demon of fear. Status banished to the void. Agramon takes the form of whatever most terrifies you. When it is done feeding on your terror, it kills you, presuming you are still alive at that point. Most men and women die of the fear before that. Agramon is a greater demon known as the demon of fear. Agramon takes the shape of its target's greatest fear and can literally scare beings to death. History. Agramon was summoned by a young warlock, Elise, for Valentine's Morgenstern in September 2017. Upon being summoned, Agramon managed to break free from the pentagram he was trapped in. This was because Elise's greatest fear was any demon he summons breaking out of its pentagram. Agramon then proceeded to kill the young warlock, after which Valentine began controlling him via the mortal cup. The duo later went to the to the Silent City to steal the mortal sword. The Silent Brothers present were not immune to his powers, resulting in them being scared to the point of death. Jace, who at the time was created in the underground in holiday cells of the Silent City, was alarmed by the mysterious sounds above ground. The aurora giving off the Agramon's presence was a powerful and terrifying one. Agramon, revealing himself to Jace, knocked out the letter. Aboard Valentine's ship, Agramon, using his powers, showed Jace his greatest fear, a gravely injured Clary, seemingly dying in his arms. The demon proceeded to render Jace's unconsciousness afresh. Agramon also appeared to Valentine's prisoner, Maya Roberts, as her late brother Daniel, almost killing her. She would have died had it not been for Valentine. Agramon later reappeared to Jace in the form of Valentine. Jace ventured that it was an impostor and stabbed him. The fearless rune he wore off, and for a mount, Jace truly feared that he had killed Valentine. The stab destroyed the demon corporal from however, and it soon dissipated into the air, sent back to the void. Physically description: when not appearing at someone's greatest fear, Agramon looks big, dark, and formless, like rolling clouds, with big, glowing white eyes. His eyes remain even when mimicking a human form. Agramon, the Demon of Fear, approximate age 330. Appearances: Even though he takes many forms, his body is that of a toned athalete skin tone. In a yellowish complication with green eyes, shoulder length hair, he wears chain mail with a long sleeve shirt underneath and a black pants with knee boots. His wings usually out can be hidden at his will. Supernatural abilities. Agumon has the ability to read minds, thoughts, and desires, and control of the elements of his being, which is fire. He possesses supernatural strength, as is able to regenerate. He can teleport distance depending on his concentration. His wings at his age can only help him during a jump, or flapping once to extend his leap, as he is a fear demon. His abilities stem from enchantment, charms, fear, and illusions. He is immune to illusions, enchantments, and charms, and resistant to fire. He rides a beast known as a nightmare steed, a horse that breathes fire. He is skilled with his sword, Nightbreed, that he holds close to him. The sword, when battled ready, burns white hot, scorching anything it touches. The skin so badly cheered after hits would take 3 times longer to heal with this sword. The blade has been known to cast balls of fire during battles, seeming uncontrolled by its own, never burning its owner. Flaws due to his age of experiences, some of his abilities might fail to turn against himself until he becomes more experienced. His fights with the demons within himself as they try to overcome him, forcing him to spread panic and fear, which interferes with his concentration at times. His fighting skills needing training as he grows older. Life Agramon always knew he was different from his brothers and sisters. Teased by his siblings, he found himself alone most of the days, cursing his father for who he was. He dreamed of living among the mortals. He rarely found the drive to learn, his strengths causing him to lag behind. During battles, he found himself left behind only to watch as siblings fail to the hands of the enemies. His father resented him, telling him that he should have been the one to have been slain. A heart hatred for his father developed that grew as time passed. His desire to leave and walk among the mortals burned deep within him, till one day he laid his eyes upon the most beautiful woman he had ever known. Though his existence, she was an angel, the enemy forbidden. He knew that the only way they could be together was among the immortals. He then did everything in his power to anger his father so that he would banish him. Their love for each other grew by the minute, so strong that they became careless and were caught together. She was ripped from his arms, taken away, heartbroken and helpless. He fought with his father for months till his father finally banished him to live among the mortals. Given a night steed and the clothing of his back, he began his journey. Agramon is the great demon of fear who appears in the City of Ashes. The demon doesn't have shape. It is described as a mass of gas at first. The power of Agramon is to appear to you as your biggest fear, and he gets stronger with the more fear. He was summoned by a young warlock called Elise, who was hired by Valentine to summon Agramon. When summoned, Agramon breaks free from the pentagram, which was supposed to keep Elise and Valentine safe and was supposed to have been impossible to breach. By demons, Valentine's, aware of what Agramon was capable of, did not warn Elise, who is later killed before he is able to escape. The reason it was able to escape was because Ellis's biggest fear was for Agramon or possibly any other demon he summons to be able to break free from the pentagram. Agramon is controlled by Valentine due to him possessing the mortal cup. Agramon first appeared to Jace as a total darkness in the Silent City, since Jace had suddenly begun feeling very scared as an effect of the night at the cell in the Silent City. It next appears to Jace as a very injured Clary, his biggest fear in the showdown of Valentine's ship. Jace was wearing the fearless rune that Clary created and kills Agramon. So that is Agramon. That is the demon of fear and shadow, guys. Yes, don't forget that you can rewatch this. So if you do miss it, you can go back over and look over it again. Thank you, my angel thinking, for remembering to put that in the room. Lots of love and light to all of you. Aim or Habrium. Aim, the 23rd spirit, is a duke who appears as a handsome man with 3 heads. There seems to be some confusion about Aim, aka Aim Habrium. In demonology text, Gustav Division 1994 identifies Habrium as Room, and Column de Plassey 1863 mentioned that some do identify him as Room, though he doubts the two are the same. Aim or Abraham is the Pura Medicia Daemon, where Knight 1583 describes Aim as a great duke who commands 26 legions. He appears with 3 heads, a serpent, a man with 2 stars, and a cat. He rides a vapor and carries a torch that can set castles and cities aflame. He makes people witty and answers truthfully concerning private matters. Aim or Habrim is a great duke, and strong. He cometh forth with 3 heads, the first like a serpent, the second like a man having 2 stars, and the third like a cat. He rides on a vape, carrying in his hand a light firebrand with the flames whereof castles and cities are feared. He maketh one witty envy kind of way. He wraths truly or private matters and regneths over 26 legions. Hebron is the Declan Air Infernal. According to the Colin D. Plasny 1863, Hebron, also called Aim, is a fire demon and a Duke of Hell who commands 26 legions. He appears riding a vape, holding a torch, and has 3 heads: a serpent, a man, and a cat. Aim is in the Gaeta Mether 1904 deviates slightly from the De Plasley, and Ware's description of Aim is that he says his 3rd head is like a calf, rather than a cat. The 23rd spirit is Aim. He is a great strong duke. He appears in the form of a very handsome man in body, but with 3 heads. The first like a serpent, the second like a man, and having the stars on his forehead. The third is the calf. He rides upon a vapour, carrying the firebrand of his hand, wherewith he sets cities, castles, and great places on fire. He marketh thee witty in all manner of ways, and grief true answers on to private matters. He is governed 26 legions of inferior spirits, and is this and his seal is this, which where those are aforesaid, etc. In demonology, Aim, Acre, Aim, or Habrium is a great Duke of Hells, very strong, and rules over 26 legions of demons. He sets the cities and castles and places afire, and makes men witty, and gives true answers concerning any matters. He is depicted as a man, handsome to some sources, but with 3 heads, one of the serpent, the second of the man, and the third of the cat or the calf. Although some say the calf riding the viper and carrying in his hand is the firebrand, in which he sets the request things on fire. Hebrew is also known as the E-world by regulars of the Ventrolo Coram Medium type frag.com. As simply the measurer and one who knows well the internet. He is known to be very charismatic and has a fondness for orange soda. He is the owner of TKW, the Keyboard Warriors, and prevails owners of several other groups that have caused promotion. Abraham Acre Aim is a fire demon and a Duke of Hell who is command 26. Already said that. And that is a little bit about him. There wasn't very much on him. Some of the demons and stuff that we look up and you studying that, you can't get a lot of information on them because not a lot is known about them. But they are the 4 demons that I wanted to talk to you guys about tonight. And I hope that you did enjoy hearing about that. I think it's really important, as I said before I started the stream, that it's really important to educate you guys about the darker side of things as well as the good side, okay? Because in reflect and in reality, when you're doing investigations, that you're going to come across the darker side more, just as much as you are going to the good side. And I think that it's really important to educate you guys to the best that I can. I will do another show where I do a few more demons and stuff, guys. That, to be honest, there are so many of them and stuff, and it's going to take time. I was meant to have done that show last week and have another show this week. So I've done the demon one today, and then in the week, probably Wednesday, I'm going to do the show that I should have done today, which is the next one on. So then I'm back up to order, and I've not missed any of the shows out then. But I thought I'd come on and I'd do that work. And now I'll just sit here with you guys for a couple of minutes and see how you're doing. I'm going to make myself a cigarette. I hope that you enjoyed it and found that interesting. To anybody that didn't understand everything I was saying, as I did say before, it's really hard to pronounce some of the words, especially when you're dyslexic. But I do write everything down and file it, so I will be putting that onto my Facebook on my Facebook page, which is to do with the company. So you'll be able to follow and read that up for yourselves. I'm just really, really tired today, and I'm really bunged up. I walked up to the shop today as well to see what was going on with my bank account and that, and couldn't even look at it. So I had to walk all the way up to the town, which took me over an hour because I've been in pain today. And then I walked back and I popped into the shop and I see my friend. They were in the shop, so I went off with her and went and had a cup of tea and had a chat and a catch up with her because she's been away with her boyfriend quite a lot and I've not really seen her very much. So I went and spent some time with her, had a cup of tea, and we had a girly chat. It was really nice just to get out the house for a couple of hours. And my internet until now has been playing up really badly as well. It kept going on and off, on and off. And I'm like, oh my God, am I going to be able to go live tonight? Luckily, it has sorted itself out in the last couple of hours. But this internet stuff's getting really, really stupid. I don't know if people have been trying to ring me, message me or whatever, but I wasn't able to do anything. I've had a few people saying about that, or their internet just cuts out. Maybe it's to do with the other stuff that I'm looking into as well. They think that I'm going to be coming on talking about that, which I will be at some point because I'm not going to stop being who I am. But I never used, like, I've never had the best connection, but it's never been this bad where I can't get things or it sticks out. It looks like it's going to work, then it don't. It gets quite annoying. I also want to get something to eat, but I don't want to get up and do that either. Hello, Dobbies, hun. How are you? Oh, bless you. Well, it sounds lovely having that nice long soak in the bath and you've had a beautiful day out seeing a beautiful stone circle. That sounds absolutely awesome. You're typing one-handed, Jacqueline. Oh, well. Oh, thank you, thinking angel. I hope that I am informative and interesting. I can't read as good as some people, but I do my best. And like I said before, I think I do pretty well. It's a good job that I'm very educational and I know my stuff quite a lot, so... What is going on here? No, I was just looking in the chat thing and there's a message from Pups to Drew. So yeah, I will be back on Wednesday to do the second show, which will be another educational one. I can't actually remember what one I'm supposed to be doing. I don't think it's in this book. Where I've tidied up, I've got a lot of stuff put away, so... Let's see if I've wrote anything in here. No. I think it's something about spirits this time round. Or it's something to do with paranormal or something like that. I will look it up. And I will put a post up to say. And get all my stuff ready for that. Of course, anybody is welcome to come to me and ask for private sessions. If there is, there'd be a small cost for that, but it's not much. I don't charge loads of money. I don't agree in doing that. To be honest, I don't like to charge money, but when I have to take my time and things out, yeah, just a little tiny donation, depending on the situation. I do try to not charge as much as I can. I don't really charge, to be honest. Only the last couple of months when I've been in here and stuff, it's been going towards good reasons. I've got to get these bits sent off that I need to get sent off as well, so that that's sorted. I'm hoping to be over in America at some point very soon, in the next couple of months. Not to mention all the other stuff I've got going on as well. Very busy lady, not just on here, but in everyday life as well, and helping others out and talking to them and my kids and everything else. Trying to juggle life. It'll all be worth it in the end. You have to just work hard. And you get there in the end. I've got to get something to eat. Haven't really eaten very much today, so I need to sort some food out. Might just have some toast and have some baked beans and some egg on it. Love is a very important thing. Love goes a long, long, long way. And let's face it, this world needs a lot of that at the minute. So yeah. So I'm really, really glad that I actually came on and done the show and that, because the way that I've been feeling and that. So that was really, really good to get on and do that. And I'm really glad I got it out of the way, because I really wanted to do that one. I am going to be coming off in a couple of minutes. I don't know if there is any thinking. I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to do a paranormal one again tonight, like just doing the orbs and maybe just setting the balls up somewhere, see if they'll go off and stuff like that. But that won't be till later. But that'll be done on my phone, like I did yesterday. Hello, Mittens. I'm not going to be involved in it. I'll introduce myself in the morning, on to you guys, and mute it again, do a silent one again, and just write in the room. That's all I can do. How are you, my lovely Mittens? It's really good to see you in here. It's really good to see all of you. Let's give you all a shout out. So we've got lovely Mittens. Big shout out to you. Thinking of others, my angel. Big shout out to you. Then you've got my lovely sister Dobby's, my angel. Hello. Big shout out to you, Jacqueline Evelyn. Hello, my angel. Shout out to you. Sister Drew. A big shout out to you. Love you lots. ODSD Shadow Demon, lots of love and big shout out to you, brother. Michelle K, my little angel, hello, big shout out to you. I'd also, everybody turns, a big shout out to you, sweetheart, and hope you're okay, angel. Then I'd like to give a shout out to Tim and Tommy from UFO Man, Lunar Eclipse, Boomer, Cap 7, hello, Mike. Ghost Shadow Vlog. Hello, sweetheart. Big shout out to you, Angel. Good to see you in here, brother. Big shout out to Coffin Crew, to Light and Dr. Death. Big shout out to Hatchie. Hatchie, hello, brother. Really good to see you. Big love, kisses and hugs to you and Pup. Hope that you're both well. MCAT Paranormal Research. Big shout out to you, sweetheart. And I hope you're okay and well, brother. Smith Family Paranormal, my angels and A-team, hello, big shout out to you, hope you're okay, and love to you and the family and to your mum. Big shout out to my good friends Dakota and Chris from Bald and Bonkers, also to my pups from Chasing Bones Inspectors, Misty Mountain. Big shout out, Reenie Cruz. Big shout out to you, sweetheart, and lots of love, light, and blessings to you. Big shout out to Bold and Bonkers, which I've already done anyway, but hello. Aroma Witch Empath, hello. Amora Witch Empath, sorry. Big shout out to you, sister. Lovely to see you in here as well. And obviously, I've done my sister Drew. Most definitely lots of love and light out to Drew. She's not feeling too good at the minute. Love you, Angel. Keep above. So big shout outs to all of you so far, and to all of my other family that come in and support me every day and are there, and lots of love and kisses and slobby kisses from Dash as well. Yep, he's laying down chilling at the minute. Thank you, Thinking, for doing a shout out to him. Just being there and supporting Thinking. I don't expect people to be able to do anything to help me. It's not other people's job. Yeah, okay, I give my 100% on here and to everybody, but you know, it's my life goal and it's something that I want to do, and I'm trying my best. You know, you guys just being here, you know, anything, like if you guys in any point do like donate, and it goes towards that anyway, and the company. So whatever you can do, guys, but I don't expect you to do anything. That's not what I'm about. You know, this is my life goal and my choice of things that I'm wanting to do, and I'll work towards that happening. And it is slowly starting. I should be in America for a few months by February, March time. March more than likely. So it's getting there. It's just really hard money-wise because I don't work. And it's not easy to make lots of money. And, you know, I've got all these amazing things that I do in that, but a lot of people don't bite to it. And I can understand, you know what I mean? It's strange, like following witches and doing that sort of stuff. And there's people not always wanting to come over to the company or donate. And I get that completely because of like the way that the world is and how some people can be. So I just go with the flow. It's not about the money for me. I can, you know, I'm doing it in my own way. It's taking time, but I'm doing it. And it will happen because I'm determined. And that's just the sort of person I am. I won't be happy till I do. So I'm doing all I can, and just you guys being here is helping, keeping me uplifted, keeping me motivated, keeping me going. That's what I love about you guys. That's why I say you're the best family in the world, because you are. There is not anything else you could be doing. And that's why I love you all unconditionally, and will do anything for you. But what I am going to do, angels, I am on Facebook, so if any of you want to message me and that, you can. If you've not got me added, it's Sherry B. Brett or Willow Brett. Please make sure you leave your YouTube name so I know it's you, and a message before I can add you because of previous problems. If you've already got me, then feel free to message me, guys. I am about. Like I said, I may be back later to do a paranormal one, but that's not guaranteed. If not, I will be doing one in the week. So thank you again, angels, for coming and supporting the company and supporting the show. And thank you for just being here and supporting me and, helping me to keep going. That, you're keeping my dreams and ambitions alive, and that's helps a lot. So until then, my angels, I will see you very, very soon. I will be in other people's streams when they're on as well. So you will see me about. Lots of love, light, and blessings. I'm just going to play out the intro and the 30-second countdown, and that will be the end of the shows, my angels. So love you all, and be safe, be well. Remember that when you go to sleep, those spirits creep, and they're always around you. And stay spooky, and I will see you real soon. Hello, and welcome to Paranormal World Investigators Research Division, shortened PWIRD. I'm a practicing white witch and shaman, and I have been investigating for over 20 years. This channel is made to talk about all things paranormal, supernatural, of the occult, demonic information, UFOs, and much more to strange and the unknown. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and hit the bell to see more of this channel. And we will see you very soon. Thank you.